The ancients said that the road to Sichuan area is harder than scaling the sky. The most dangerous pass on the route from Shanxi province to Sichuan province is the Jianmen Pass on the Jinyou route in Jianghe County. Built 2,300 years ago, this ancient route is about 600 kilometers long. Traces of horses' hooves can still be seen on the ancient slate route. The horse-blocking walls are equivalent to the guardrails on a modern highway. On both sides are tens of thousands of ancient cypress trees. These towering trees are over 1,000 years old. They bear witness to the wisdom of the Chinese people in their approach to ecological protection. There is a cypress in Jianghe County, Sichuan province, which is unique in the world. This tree is 2,300 years old. From a distance, it looks like a pine tree. It is not of the same kind as any of the other cypress trees around it. Botanists named it the Jianghe cypress. Researchers are climbing to the top of the 29-meter-tall tree to take some branches. They are trying to help the lonely Jianghe cypress reproduce through cuttings. This is the world's largest artificially cultivated ancient cypress forest and dates back to the Qin dynasty, more than 2,000 years ago. Today, there are more than 12,000 cypress trees that are over 1,700 years old along the ancient Sichuan roads. Just like the county magistrates of ancient times, today's county governors must count the ancient trees when entering and leaving office. This is probably how China's forest chief scheme originated. This practice has been passed on and carried forward, allowing the ancient cypress trees to continue thriving. In Guilin County, southern Sichuan, there is another ancient road leading to the Yunnan Guizhou Plateau that was used to transport salt. The mountain roads here are steep and treacherous. For a long time, cargo had to be transported manually. People in ancient times strictly regulated deforestation. In the forest, there are several well-preserved stone tablets dating back to the 18th century during the Qing dynasty, warning villagers not to cut down trees indiscriminately or poison the fish in the river. The mountains always stand and the rivers always flow. Harmony with nature has taken on great importance in Sichuan today. Chinese people are always exploring ways to get along with nature. More than 2,000 years ago, people came to Mount Qingcheng and tried to understand the laws of nature here. The Chinese word for nature, Zhiren, came from Dao De Jing by Lao Tzu. The concept that the Tao follows what is natural has been deeply engraved into Chinese people's worldview, influencing their lives today. Man follows the earth. Earth follows heaven. Heaven follows the Tao. Tao follows what is natural. In the mountains, above an altitude of 3,500 meters, in Sichuan's Aba Prefecture, lives a precious plant, the yellow Himalayan fritillary. The bulbs of the yellow Himalayan fritillary are a renowned Chinese herbal medicine and sell for a high price. But the locals are careful when picking them. Although no one supervises the mountains, they will soon backfill the holes to minimize damage to the grass. This ensures that they can continue to harvest the fritillary the following year. The transition zone from the Qinghai Tibet Plateau to the Sichuan Basin is a series of gigantic mountain ranges running north to south. They are collectively known as the Hengduan Mountains. The mountains and rivers divide western Sichuan and create a diverse ecological environment. Bowo Township in Muli County is located at the southern end of the Hengduan Mountains. The locals mainly depend on alpine agriculture for their livelihoods. The most famous product here is the thin-skinned walnut. Every year, Lord Derby's parakeets arrive just as the walnuts ripen. These garish, uninvited guests come in flocks and gorge on the villagers' walnuts. The locals see the parakeets as auspicious and only use gentle methods of persuasion on these gluttonous mountain birds. After this story went viral, crowds of visitors come to see the birds and experience the area's rustic folk customs. The villagers have recouped their losses through tourism, and conservation of wildlife has been done in a gentle way. The local people's simple ecological awareness and kindness have played a key role in the process. In different mountain environments, rhododendrons have evolved into different species and varieties. They are highly adaptable, with more than 200 species of rhododendrons in Sichuan alone. Plants keep evolving to adapt to their environment. The people here also understand clearly the importance of adapting. Thousands of years ago, their ancestors farmed here, hunted here, and migrated here. They responded to the changing seasons, got to know the land, and searched for paths that suited the development of their cultures. During this process of adaptation, the people who resided here have always kept their promise to nature. They never burned the forests when hunting, or harmed the rivers when fishing. This is the guarantee of sustainability. All living things share the earth. Humans are not the masters or slaves of nature, but its guardians. We must remember the spirit of science and be in awe of nature to live in this world that has nurtured us. In Jiangyo, Sichuan, an unassuming type of grass once brought the construction of a mega reservoir to a halt. It's an endangered wild plant, endemic to China. The Wudu Reservoir has a total capacity of 572 million cubic meters. 12 years ago, when it was about to be filled, scientists found that more than half of the world's last remaining 2,026 individual plants of this grass were below the reservoir's water level. This delicate herbaceous plant blooms in winter and bears fruit in February and March. Once the seeds mature, due to a lack of insects that can spread them, they have very little ability to expand their habitat and can only live in a very narrow area. The Sichuan provincial government quickly initiated emergency protection measures for the grass and suspended the project. A national water conservancy project that the state had invested 3 billion yuan in was suspended for a whole year because of a little grass. All the individual plants of the grass were transplanted to a habitat with a similar environment, so they wouldn't be flooded by the reservoir. Today, the population of the grass in Jiangyo is double that of 12 years ago. Its risk of extinction has now been greatly reduced. When we can revere the lives of plants, we understand what it means to be in awe of nature. Of course, ecological protection isn't just about a single species. People once farmed in the plains and logged in the mountain forests. Nature gave them the opportunity to thrive and develop, and they understand the laws of the life and the cycles of plants. Today, our awareness of ecological protection is improving. Respecting nature, adapting to nature, and protecting nature means protecting biodiversity as a whole. This is the sustainable development path of harmony between humans and nature. This is the Wulong giant panda wilding base in Sichuan. The giant panda is the star species of Sichuan and the most beloved animal in the world. Over the years, China has set up 67 nature reserves for giant pandas, 46 of which are in Sichuan. Thanks to continued investment and conservation, the giant panda status has been downgraded from endangered to vulnerable. Behind this slight difference in words are years of effort. In 2021, the Giant Panda National Park was established, linking the various scattered reserves into a vast 22,000 square kilometer space. It resulted in the overall protection and systematic restoration of the giant panda's habitat.
最高有2米多。
Here, efforts are made to minimize the human impact on the environment and enhance the connectivity of the giant panda's habitat. This area is one of the world's 36 biodiversity hotspots. The establishment of the Giant Panda National Park has strengthened biodiversity protection throughout the region. It has also provided a better living space for all kinds of mountain wildlife. The Giant Panda National Park will create an important ecological barrier. It's a milestone in China's ecological protection efforts. The idea that everything is connected tallies precisely with the concept of ecological and environmental protection in the new era.
就是我们森林呢，或者每一种树，它散发出来的物质其实是非常多的。这些自然的东西对人是健康是很有效的。国外有很多研究说，如果说你经常在这种森林里面走，这个人最后长大以后，他得这个记忆的和精神疾病的问题要下降挺多的。
Tang Ya is a professor at the College of Architecture and Environment at Sichuan University. He is conducting a special investigation into air pollution in Mount Emei.
冷山哈，这就是峨眉山高海拔地区最重要的针叶林的渐青树种。
Faber's fir is an important species in the high-altitude mountains of Sichuan. It's also of key interest to scientists.
在80年代末、90年代初，很多的这些冷山因为受空气污染，出现了死亡或者是生长不正常的状况。就是我们可以看到，之前大气污染，树木是已经死亡，或者它生长受到非常大的影响。它在空气污染那段时间生长非常非常慢。但是现在呢，它生长已经加快了，就说明治理空气污染，生态系统也是受益的，不仅仅是人受益。我觉得这是我们国家做的一个很好的事情。我们现在四川得天独厚的很多条件，完全得益于自然的这种造化，所以我们要发展更好的发展，应该是顺应自然，更好的认识。理解自然的这种规律，我们在这种情况下来制定我们的发展，来制定我们的保护。
Environmental governance and protection requires everyone's participation. Each person's contribution will play a vital role. This kind of plant has extremely high demands. It can only grow in extremely clean water, making it an indicator organism of water quality. Lugu Lake is one of the clearest alpine lakes in China, due to the purity of its water. In recent years, governments at all levels have been carrying out ecological restoration of the shoreline of Lugu Lake to reduce the impact of tourism. As a result, the living conditions of the plant have greatly improved. In July, the wetland on the edge of the city is home to a variety of rare birds. For these winged creatures, this place is paradise. This is Chonghai Wetland in Sichuan, the largest urban wetland in China. Hu Yiping is a primary school teacher in Sichuan. He enjoys watching and photographing birds. He has set up a bird-watching group and often takes children from the group to the wetland to watch the rare birds that frequently visit. From the 1960s to the 1990s, the Qionghai mudflats and native wetlands largely disappeared due to land reclamation and other reasons. This also led to a significant decline in the number of water birds and native species. In recent years, Liangshan Prefecture and Sichuan have implemented projects that saw ponds, fields, and residential land return to the lake. Gradually, this urban wetland was eventually restored. In 2020, Qionghai Wetland was selected as one of the best sites for watching wild birds in China due to its excellent ecological environment and rich variety of water birds. Respecting nature and protecting the environment are concepts that will be passed down from generation to generation. The Yangtze River is the mother river of China. Ensuring its protection has become a national strategy. Sichuan is located in the upper reaches of the Yangtze River and plays an important role in the conservation of its biodiversity. It also shoulders the vital mission of ensuring national ecological security. There are now more than 230 species of fish in Sichuan. More than 100 of them are endemic to the province. Currently, some rare fish species in the upper reaches of the Yangtze River have been preserved, and artificial breeding has also been carried out. Fry are regularly put into the Yangtze River to increase their populations. The establishment of the National Nature Reserve for rare and endemic fishes in the upper reaches of the Yangtze River has been a boon for the river. Resource and environmental monitoring, socioeconomic surveys, and scientific research are being carried out effectively and comprehensively. After decades of efforts, the river basin's overall ecological function has been slowly restored, and life there has started to thrive once again. The rivers always flow and will never stop. Humans should always respect nature. This is Sichuan's contribution to biodiversity conservation. It also reflects the future path of ecological conservation and restoration in China.